Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to give you a home tour of our gym. I've actually done a tour of our entire house and somehow I managed to miss this room out. I didn't even realise until one of my lovely followers, Crystal, said to me that she'd love to see the gym in more detail. So today I'm going to show you everything in here, all the sources and all the ideas behind the design and any lessons that I can share with you guys. So let's get started. So the first thing to know about our gym is that it's just off of our bedroom, and we did that on purpose because we want to use our gym first thing in the morning. We have young children, and basically the idea is that we can sneak in here before they wake up and get in an early morning workout. So that informed quite a lot of the design decisions. When you come into this space, you'll understand it doesn't look like a normal gym, and that is the reason why. So let's get started and have a bit of a closer look. The gym is also multifunctional, so as well as being a place where we work out, we also come here and have our morning coffee. So we have an espresso machine, we've got all our coffee mugs here, and even a little drawer we keep all our little coffee pods. Down here is a fridge in case you have milk. Obviously that's not a normal thing to have in your gym, but whenever you're designing things for your home, I think it's really important to make it personal to you and how you want to use the space. We'd lived in this house for 10 years by the time we designed this. Originally it was actually just a sitting room that we had open plan in the bedroom, and I hated it. It was like such an unusable space. The bedroom felt less cozy, so I knew that I wanted to partition it off. And then we kind of had this empty room for a while, and over lockdown we realised we really wanted a home gym, so that's how this whole space evolved. One of the aesthetic elements that I really wanted to incorporate was I absolutely love marble. No secret, I love using marble in my clients' projects, and I really wanted some Calicato Viola, this beautiful purple marble. It's got sort of veining of aubergine purple, burgundy, and I thought that tied in really well with the wallpaper that we had in the bedroom. So I really wanted these spaces to correspond, a little bit like you do with an ensuite bathroom. The other thing that I really wanted to have in this space was lots of timber. I love the idea of having it all panelled with wooden panelling. So when I show you around the room, you'll see that on the walls where there isn't joinery, it's just panelling or mirror. But behind me, we've got this big sort of media unit. Again, quite an unusual thing to have in a gym. But when I designed this space, I used to work out with a personal trainer in here twice a week, and we did Zoom workouts. And so I really wanted to have a huge TV. And this one's actually a computer TV. It's called ELO, I hope I'm saying that right. I'll share the link in the description box, but basically I can do Zoom calls on there, and she's almost life-size. She can see every inch of this gym, so she can check my form and make sure that I'm working out properly. The other thing that I really needed to do is, because we have a balcony off this gym, is have some storage for the outdoor furniture cushions. One of my followers asked me, when I design joinery, do I always think ahead of time how I'm going to use it? And the answer is yes, I always do. Because if you put the joinery in and then afterwards try and fit things in, you're never going to be able to fit everything in that you wanted. So if we come a little bit closer, I'll show you how I did that. So in here is all my outdoor cushions. These are all from Sutherland's. And you can see, if you bend down, you can see it's actually much deeper at the base than it is at the top, and that's because these cushions are so big, so it kind of dictated the size of the cupboard. But then I didn't want to have storage as deep as that the whole way. So then you can see where the TV is. We've got this kind of shelf area that's stepped back, so it doesn't take up too much space. And actually that's really handy in the morning for putting your bottle of water or your coffee before you start your workout. Then above here, I needed space to store the arcs for Pilates. I do a lot of mat Pilates as well. I'll show you guys what my workout routine is in this video as well. And we've got some foam rollers as well, so all of that just fits perfectly in there. And it's so satisfying when it fits in, because I was a little bit nervous, like I kept measuring the cushions to make sure that I hadn't made a mistake with the measurements. So when it all fitted perfectly, I was like, felt a real sense of relief. And then down the side here, I wanted to have some open shelving, not necessarily for practical storage. If you've watched this channel for a long time, you might know that when I talk about shelving, I always say forget about storage on shelving, it's just about decoration. It needs to look very aesthetic. So here I've got some beautiful sculptures, a nice folded blanket. This actually is useful. Sometimes we take this out to the balcony if we're out there in the evening. Some nice monogrammed towels. These ones are from our Co's collection. I've just got these last week and I'm so happy with them. I decided to write gym on there just in case I wasn't sure where I was. But again, I'll put the link in description box below. But it was really just about creating things that when you're styling a space like a gym, you want to have things that look relevant to that space. And I'm sure my husband will try and use one of these towels, and then I will tell him off because they've been folded perfectly, and these ones are not for use. We've got ones elsewhere that he can use when he's working out. And then I've got just some baskets, some storage baskets. On this side, I use for like a skipping rope, some bands. I do a lot of banded exercises, just useful stuff that you want out of the way. And tucked behind that, you can see I've got a little Sonos speaker as well. This candle I absolutely love. This is alabaster. It's from Bamford. So pretty. Again, not to be burnt, just to be looked at. And then over here, I'll show you where I do my mat workout. So this is all of my weights that we've got. You'll notice they're all colour coordinated. That was done on purpose. And it's actually really, really hard to find colour coordinated weights. It drives me crazy that unless you want those metal ones that I find really hard on my hands, they always give me a sort of tough skin. These ones with the kind of coating on, they tend to be different colours for each weight, and that would have totally killed the look in here. So I managed to find these online. They weren't expensive. I looked at loads and loads of manufacturers and brands of gym equipment before I bought their stuff, and what I knew was that I didn't want to spend a lot of money on gym equipment. I wanted it to look nice, be functional, but I wasn't going to be buying marble dumbbells or anything like that. No designer equipment in here. So I'll share the link in the description box. But what I've done is I've combined those with this custom weight rack. I had a look at all the things that you could buy readily made, and one of my pet hates is when you put a weight down on a standard weight rack, they tend to be metals. They make a big kind of clanging, clashing metal noise, which really isn't relaxing. So what we did was we had this made from solid oak. It's stained to match all the rest of the joinery. On the top, and people are going to think this is really not practical, but this is a wool fabric. And when I was testing out what material to put on top, I actually originally had in mind that I was going to do leather, and then I checked what it was like when I put the weight on the leather, and it kind of left an indent. So that would have been really, really annoying. So always check your materials before you make a decision. This one's great, even though it is a fabric, and if you were the kind of person that sweats a lot when you work out, I wouldn't recommend this. But luckily we're not very sweaty, so it's been absolutely fine. And yes, I do line them all up. Sometimes my husband comes in here and works out, and I always know because there'll be one the wrong way round, but I've just lined them up perfectly to film today because someone will point it out otherwise. And then these kettlebells are also colour coordinated. I love the colour of these. They're kind of like a bronzy anthracite, and that's the colour I ideally wanted. I didn't want to have black for the dumbbells, but it was just one of those things that I had to make a compromise. So we went for this metallic grey. The only thing I've said that I've learned from this process is the maximum weight you can get in this range is 10 kilograms, and really I'd love to have some heavier weights. So that was a bit of a compromise. I could get some heavier weights that don't match and hide them in the cupboard, or just deal with my kind of perfectionism and have them on display. But if anyone knows of any black, I don't know what this is called, if you guys know what this finish is called, I did know but I've forgotten. But I've looked online for so long and can't find 12 kilogram dumbbells that match. So if you know of any, please let me know in the comments. I would be eternally grateful. But for this base, we had our joiner make it. It was designed by me, and we did a prototype just to make sure, because obviously it's carrying a huge amount of weight, so it needs to be really, really sturdy and strong. So it's made from solid oak, and then underneath it's got like a second plinth detail just to spread the load across that bench. For the mirror above, it's always great to have a lot of mirror in your gym so you can see your reflection, check your form. I find it really motivating working out in front of a mirror, not because I'm vain, but just because I can see progress, if there is hopefully some progress. One thing that I was adamant that I didn't want to have was where we were going to have the whole wall mirrored. Mirror can only come in certain widths, so you would have had to have a join on the mirror. So every place where there is a join, we've done this timber section so that you don't see metal, you don't see mirror joining mirror. and I really like how that looks. It kind of continues from the panelling around the rest of the room, and it just feels a bit more considered, and it's a nice detail. And then above, that same timber framing runs along the top of the mirror, and you can see there's a little detail, like a coving detail that sticks out. That we've done on purpose because it's got an LED strip that runs around the perimeter of the room, throws light onto the ceiling, and it's a really nice sort of ambient lighting at night if you're working out. I don't want to have too many spotlights shining down when I'm doing mat workout. So that works really well, and if you are designing your own home gym, I'd say definitely think about doing some timber framing around your mirror. It's one of those things that's going to make it feel much more luxurious. One of the later additions that I did in this gym was putting some lime wash paint on the ceiling and just above all the panelling. Originally I was just going to have it painted white, but when I looked at the combination of this lovely oak, light colour oak, against the white, it looked a bit insipid, so I knew I needed something a bit softer up there. And I love when you're looking at it through the light, and especially when the LED lights are on, you can see all the beautiful patterns on the ceiling. It just looks a lot more, you know, considered and a lot more finished now that we've got that lime wash paint on there. One of the things I get asked about all the time is about the gym flooring that I've got in here. So in here I've gone for a combination of real timber flooring. I looked at a lot of different options. I looked at lino, traditional gym matting. What I didn't want to have was I didn't want to have rubber matting just off the bedroom. Firstly, because it just doesn't look very luxurious, it's not something that I like the look of, but also rubber can have a slight smell to it, and I really didn't want that to come into the bedroom. So we went for a timber flooring, knowing that if you dropped a heavy weight on it, it would dent. We've only had one dent so far in about a year. Obviously it was my husband, not me. He didn't tell me, but I did notice. But so far so good. Obviously it wouldn't be good for a commercial gym, but it's been absolutely fine in here, and I'm really happy with that choice. Then what we did for the workout area was, again, I've always had workout mats before, and I was trying to find online the biggest possible workout mat that you could get, but it ended up being tiles that you have to join together, and I don't really like the feel of them when I work out with them in other gyms, and I don't like the way it looks. So we made a conscious decision here to go for a rug. This one is from Crucial Trading, and I'll share the link in the description box. I can't remember the code off the top of my head, but it's 100% real wool, and then it has a linen border. Again, we're not sweaty when we work out. If I was a sweaty person, I would probably consider something else, but you can always put a towel on top of it, like a big bath sheet, just to protect it, which is something I do if I have a friend work out with me and I'm not sure if they're going to be sweaty, then I'll just subtly put a big towel down just in case. But that's been really, really practical, and I love how it looks. It kind of gives that earthy, organic feel that I really wanted in here. If any of you guys have ever visited one of the Dalesford shops, then you'll recognise maybe where I got some of my inspiration from. I love the way that they fit out their shops. I love their whole aesthetic and their brand, and it was very much inspired by that. We don't have a huge amount of big gym equipment in here. Most of the exercises we do are with hand weights or body weight or Pilates, but the one thing that we do have, and it's been such a lifesaver, has been this Peloton. I would say I probably use it once or twice a week. My husband uses it once or twice a week. We absolutely love it. We've got the version where you can turn the screen around, and then it has loads of different programs of other classes that you can do, so then I'll turn that around so I can do that on the mat. But again, just in terms of how I've styled it, now you're probably going to come for me here because I know this is a little bit extra, but this is my gym, not anyone else's gym, so I always think you should design for yourself. We've got this little diptyque scented block on the Peloton, and I really love beautiful smelling spaces. So this whole space has got candles, diffusers, it smells amazing. It smells like a spa when you come in here. So that goes on there. And then for the base, again, we've done the matching mat to match the main workout mat area that we've got. It makes me happy. It makes my husband happy every time we come in here. It just looks so considered and neat. And then the other thing that I've done, and it's just little touches like this that I think make a big difference, but rather than just having our Peloton shoes kind of chucked on the floor, I've got an extra basket here. So they just get neatly put away when you finish your workout, and it all looks nice and tidy. But this has been an amazing piece of equipment. This isn't sponsored in any way. Unfortunately, I've had to pay for the membership, but it is a great great addition to our gym, so I've got to give them credit where credit's due. I absolutely love Peloton. So the last thing that I've been asked about on Instagram is what my workout routine is. I am by no means a gym bunny. I don't think of myself as someone who's super sporty, but it's something that I've grown to love with age, and that I feel like it just makes me feel happier. It's nice to feel a bit more toned, and it helps me do what I need to do in life. So I have made exercise a priority. So in here, I would say I exercise maybe once or twice a week, whether that's doing a mat Pilates or a Peloton or a Peloton class. And then I also go to a Pilates studio. I go to U Pilates in Cobham 2 to 3 times a week, and I absolutely love it. I do a mix of reformer, tower, or actually no, I only do reformer and tower. And then I go to a private training studio once or twice a week with my husband, which I absolutely love. It's like a real social thing that we do together. And I do a lot of weight training, a lot of body weight training. Basically they torture me for an hour, but again, I think it's really good if you're a woman, and at my age, I'm 39, you need to be thinking about building your muscle, so that's going to help you through menopause. So I'm really mindful that I want to do that. I don't like doing HIIT. I don't think that's good for your cortisol levels, but I think the combination of weight training and Pilates and then a little bit of cardio on the Peloton is the perfect combination for me. Okay guys, that is a wrap on today's gym tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that it was informative. If there's anything that I didn't cover that you'd like to know, please don't hesitate to drop me a comment in the comments box below and I'll come back to you. If you haven't hit subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got some amazing videos coming up. I'm flying to Oman today to video an amazing project we've done out there. Lots of great content coming your way. And if you'd like more regular updates, don't forget you can also follow us on Instagram at Sophie Patterson Interiors and TikTok at Sophie Patterson Interiors. And I'll see you very soon. Take care.